Hi crochet friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Stefania and today I'll be putting together a last-minute Halloween costume. Halloween isn't widely celebrated here in the Netherlands, so I didn't anticipate needing a costume. However, this being the week of Halloween, I had a friend invite me over for a last-minute Halloween get-together. I hadn't thought about what I wanted my costume to be, so I took inspiration from my last video where I tested a unicorn amigurumi kit from the Dollar Tree. I really loved how this little unicorn turned out, so I thought I would use her for inspiration for my costume. If you want to see the video where I make this unicorn and review the crochet kit, I'll link that in the description below. Since I don't have much time to make this costume, I decided I'm going to make a headband piece with a horn and some multicolored hair. I'll wear this headband with this sparkly top and a rainbow tutu I have in my costume supplies. But if you want to do a costume like this and don't have a rainbow tutu to throw on, you can wear this accessory with any kind of sparkly or colorful outfit that you do have. Without further ado, let's get crocheting. Since this is a last-minute project, I didn't have any time to get new yarn, so I went through my yarn scraps and picked out some suitable colors. First off, I found this yellow yarn with a bit of sparkle to it, which I thought would be perfect for a unicorn's horn. I then picked a couple different variegated colors to add some hair and make a headband to put it all together. I'm going to start off by making the horn with the yellow yarn and my 4mm crochet hook. I'm going to start with a magic circle with 6 stitches in it. For the first round, I'm going to just put single crochet stitches into each of the 6 stitches. Hopefully this will give me a nice pointy horn. I'll turn that horn right side out. And then moving forward, I'm going to put an increase at the beginning of each round and single crochet stitches the rest of the way around. This gradual increase will create a cone shape. You can see how the cone or the horn is starting to form. As I move on, I'm going to add a couple of rows where I don't increase at all, just to make the horn a little bit longer without making it that much wider. I don't want my unicorn horn to be too big, so I'll be happy with this size here. So next I'll take some stuffing and fill that horn up. I'm going to use the end of my crochet hook to make sure the stuffing gets all the way into the tip of the horn. I'm going to make sure to firmly stuff it so that it also doesn't collapse when it's on the headband. Then I'm going to start to decrease and close this circle up. And there's the unicorn horn, all done. Next, I'm going to take this variegated yarn and make a headband that I can attach the horn and mane to. Since I don't know how far this yarn is going to get me, I'm going to start by making the length of the headband I want, and then add on rows until it's the thickness that I'm looking for. So I have a chain here of 45 stitches. It's not long enough to go around my entire head, but I'm going to make the headband portion to attach the items onto, and then add on a strap. So the headband is now a good thickness. I'll be able to comfortably attach the horn and add some hair around it. So now I'm going to work my way to the center of the headband and add a strap on either side. After making a long chain for the strap, I'm going to slip stitch in each stitch all the way back up to the headband. Here's the completed headband. I'll be attaching the horn to the center of the headband and adding a bunch of rainbow yarn as hair along the rest of it. Before attaching the horn, I'm going to add some of this hair. To do so, I'm going to continue as if I'm doing single crochet stitches, but when I have the 2 loops on the hook, instead of yarning over, I'm going to leave a long length of yarn and then yarn over to complete the single crochet stitch. I'll skip a stitch and then do the same thing again. I'm going to continue adding these long loops all the way along the length of this headband. I'm not too bothered about making the hairs all at the exact same length, but if you decide to make this project yourself and do want them all the same length, you can always use a ruler to measure out the length of the hairs. And just like that, we have the beginning of a nice rainbow mane attached to our headband. I'm going to go ahead and sew on the horn to the center of the headband next. And there's our horn attached. Next, I'm going to take this sparkly variegated blue color and do the same technique, adding more hair onto the rest of the headband. Since Since I have more of this blue variegated sparkle color, I'm gonna add the hair to each of the stitches instead of every other. Now this technique does use up a lot of yarn, so if you're working with your scraps, you'll want to make sure that you're spacing out the lengths of your hair so you don't run out mid-row. You can either choose one color for all of your unicorn's hair, or like me, you can choose a variety of whatever colors you have on hand. So here's what we have so far. Because this project has already taken me about an hour and 20 minutes, I'm gonna speed up the process a bit by just adding 2 more rows of hair. I'm gonna not add any to the center here, and instead focus on the edge. I'm gonna do 1 more row of the blue variegated sparkly yarn, and then finish it off with the last yarn color that I chose. I'm going to continue adding hair on each of the stitches instead of every other. Growing up in the States, Halloween was always my favorite holiday. Who doesn't love dressing up in a fun costume and going door to door to get free candy? It's such a fun time of year where you get to give in to your spookier side and allow yourself to dress up in ways that you normally wouldn't. So there's the 3rd row of hair. You can see that once I put it on, it'll cover up the middle section, so it really doesn't matter that I didn't add more layers of hair there. Now I'm going to take this last color of yarn and add it just on the edge as one last row of hair. Since I don't have much of this color of yarn left, I'll again skip a stitch in between each length of hair. This is the first time that I've crocheted a costume for myself, and ideally I would have started with a lot more time before this event. But it is fun that in only a couple of hours I can go from an idea to a completed accessory. Have you ever crocheted or made your own Halloween costume? If so, what was it? Let me know in the comments down below. Also let me know if you plan on dressing up for Halloween this year and what you're going to go as. And here is our unicorn headband all complete. Let's get into costume and I'll show you the final look. And here's the final look. As you can see, I paired my unicorn accessory with a sparkly top, my rainbow tutu, and some sparkly tights. For a last minute costume, I think this turned out really well. For taking about 2 hours of crochet time, I'm really happy with how this project turned out. To put it on, I first placed the headband around my head and tied it as tight as I could. I then flipped my head upside down and gathered both my real hair and the unicorn hair into a high ponytail. Finally, I secured it with a couple of sparkly clips. I finished off this look with some winged liner, sparkly makeup, and put on some rainbow heart earrings. Because if there's one thing I love about Halloween, it's an excuse to put on a ton of glitter. For freehanding this project without much plan going into it, I'm really happy with how it turned out. Thanks for watching until the end of the video. If you liked this video, leave a like and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out a lot. I make new videos every week, including check-in videos, crochet tutorials, and other craft content. Let me know in the comments down below if you'd like to see more videos of me freehanding projects, and leave any suggestions of what you think I should freehand next. We're getting closer and closer to 100 subscribers to this channel, which is really exciting to see. If you'd like to be one of my crochet friends, make sure you're subscribed as well. I'm starting to think about what I could do for a 100 subscriber special, so if you have any ideas, leave those in the comments down below. For those of you celebrating Halloween this year, I hope that you have a lot of fun and stay safe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!